Okay, so this is going to serve as a prequel to Survivor Mode on the Edge. I think I can do it in Survivor Mode rather than in Hard Mode than in Survivor Mode. Again, it's the micromanaging, and again, it's getting what I need when I need it, because the first thing I'm going to need to do is meet the quotas with London to get food in quickly. So the steel on the right-hand side has to go on day 2. A gathering post has to be built on the left-hand side. That's also on day 2. Well, on night 1 for night 2, for day 2. On the left-hand side, I need to, and the right-hand side, I suppose, I need to gather as much wood as possible, but not the buildings around the old army buildings on the left where the gathering post is going to be. I need to get research posts up and the scouts away. Now there's some things that can be done there. Starting off the woods road near the beacon, that can go for 1 wood. Around the bottom of the base, that can go for 3 wood, but we can't delete all of it because we need some of it for building basically the encampment. That means we can transport things in and out. We need to start sending and receiving from day 2, day 3 at the very least. We need emergency shift, but that's down to London. They usually send us that one. We need either corpse or bury the dead, and again that comes down to London. We need a lot of medical tents. We need a hell of a lot of wood. Now, there are some gimmies for this, so we can get some things sorted. Turns out you can ask for London for a lot of things. That's something I wasn't doing. I was playing on easy, I didn't need it. And then I had to go just now on hard. And I found I could ask for London for wood a lot. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to abuse my asks for wood. I won't ask for food. The first time I will ask for food because they can send me food straight away. After that, just ask for wood. I won't ask for coal, don't need that. All I need is 2 coal thumpers and 3 gathering posts. That'll be enough wood, enough coal, to supply the village forever. I could even get away with 2 gathering posts if I up the gathering. But I'll stick with 3. Because it's just safer. What else do I need? Yes, as soon as the scouts go out, they need to find resources, mainly steel, which I can bring back so I can focus on just getting the steam cores, which takes so long to get in. The quicker I can get the steam cores in, the better. It also means that I can research the gathering 50 extra wood for struts so that I can get the steam cores in faster and just narrow down that time, which means I won't be using the emergency shift as much. Also, there are still people out in the wilderness and they will be needed later on, but not immediately. The more people I bring in straight away, the more people there are just sitting around doing nothing. Yes, I need a lot of workers and I need a lot of engineers for the mine and the army base and just everything, but I don't need them immediately, is the thing, because they're another stomach. Until we get to the hot springs, we really can't afford to be bringing anyone else into the camp. So, to that effect, it's just important to really make sure that we keep the numbers quite low so that we can just work with who we have. As soon as we sever ties with London, we're going to start to need people. because as you explore the settlements and the encampments, they'll start to say, hey, can you send us this? Can you send us that? How about sending us some workers? That's when I need the workers. Send them there, and that's good. I need to research 2 scouts, and I need to then just focus on heating the mine and just the general day-to-day wear and tear of everything. I'm not too worried about research. What I am very worried about is I don't know what the cold's going to be like. I don't know how cold it will get, how quickly. But I'm pretty sure I can do it. What really is the beginning and end of this is at the end you choose to either save New London or abandon it. And when that happens, you got, well, 2 choices really. If you choose to abandon London, you need to build a lot of medical posts. You need to build some housing with significant heat. And you just need to stay on top of everything really. Just stay ahead of the game, which is... and you've got to maintain heat in an area for so much, but at that point you should have enough heat going on that shouldn't be an issue. If I'm honest, that might be easier, because if you choose to save London, you have to send them 3,000 coal, easy enough to done, because I figured out how to do coal. By the end of the second playthrough, I had 12,000 coal, which I did not need. I had so many workers, it was easy mode, and I had 12,000 coal. I was just like, this is too much coal. We don't need all this. Yeah, so I would say coal's not an issue. Coal is a non-issue. As long as everyone stays not sick, I suppose. But even so, with 12,000 coal, I have enough to cover that. Then you need to send 40 workers, which can be difficult, but not impossible. And then after that, you need to send, I think it's a decent amount of steel and 6 steam cores, which that's a lot of stuff, really. And then you need to send food, which is the breaking point, really. That's where it all comes to a head, is food. Everything revolves around food on survivor mode, because you can't send out hunters, you can't hunt, you have to rely on the outpost to send you food. It takes a while to travel, so setting up a route between my city and the hot springs is priority 1. Nothing else matters except that. We can get by on wood. We can ask for favors from other settlements for wood. But it's food that's the most important here. I mean, there's always some givens. And I know it, I've seen other people go for the sawdust meal, and people think I'm crazy going for soup all the time because it just heightens discontent and you need to sign in a load of new laws for that. But I always have a problem with the sickness anyway. It takes ages for people to heal themselves. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna sign in soup and start dishing up soup. Done correctly, this should be good. But there's a careful balance here, because each of the outposts want you to do different things, and sometimes they're happy and sometimes they're sad, and that depends on what favours you can get and what you can send and receive. So that's really, it comes down to making sure I've got what I need when I need it. And yeah, knowing where everything is on the map and sort of understanding what, by denying this or by accepting this, what that will lead to. But I have a fair idea and I can see a path in front of me. I feel very much like the arcs, and I did that one on my, I think, second time on survivor mode. I could see the path that I needed to take, and I did it, because if I go to the arcs, it's just about keeping the seedling bases heated. But it turns out, despite the fact when you turn off the thermometer, they start to freeze up at the same pace they always do, despite the cold. So it was just micromanaging the coal, by saying this one's off, that one's off, that one's off. I kept like two off and put 2 on. Now if I really wanted to be critical, I could have had one heater on and the rest off, and then switched that out and put another one on and had them each at a quarter, but I instead just did 2 off, 2 on, saving coal, and then when they got very cold and nearly to the point where they're frozen, I turned those on and the heaters would go on, and then the other 2 heaters would go off, and I kept it very much alive. I was very proud of myself on that one, because I didn't need any guides, I didn't need anything. I saw what needed to be done and I did it. On the first time I left it too long and a seedling arc froze, just to see what the discontent would be like if that happened, and it was way too high on survivor mode to be an issue. It would never come back down again, so I quit. I started again and I did it on that try. And I was very proud of that, because it was something that I understood immediately how to do. I could see what I needed to do and how I would need to do it, and then I just did it. It was very, very satisfying, which in this game is a rare thing to find. But I always find with this game, it's hard, it's difficult, it's really challenging, but when you do succeed, you feel such elation and such, I just feel so proud that, because this just means that I've done everything that I need to, the city survives, or whatever needs to happen happens. Fall of Winter Home. I love this game. I really do love this game. But that's all I have time for tonight, so that's what I plan to do next. That will be coming up towards the end of the month, when I have a week off, because I need some significant time to do that, and as it happens, my shift patterns aren't great at the moment, plus I have to go to a gig. With everything opening back up again, I'm going to see Elbow live on stage, which is going to be cool. But with everything going on in work, and my schedule is just a little bit busy for a full stream. But that's coming up at the end of the month. I'm going to dedicate some time to that. I'm also going to dedicate some time to finishing off Life is Strange Part 2. Life is Strange 2 Part 4, I think we're on now. Chapter 4. That's going to be finished off in the holiday as well. I've got some exploration to do in Horizon Zero Dawn. I've already started doing that. There's a lot I need to do, a lot I need to finish, and I have no idea what's going on with 7 Days to Die, because every time I load in and try and trigger like an apocalypse level event, it never ends well, because my defenses are really too great. I'm starting to believe that the best thing to do now would be to take my entire arsenal and build some new defenses, go to a new area on the map and just hunker down and do a final stand somewhere else, because my main base cannot be, it's impregnable. It's just built for all eternity. I think that one will not go down at all. It's a shame, because I set up this huge labyrinth inside. I expected like hordes to descend on me. I put everything up to insane, but nothing doing. So I have to take it out of insanity mode, put it back into normal mode, I think, and set up a base with defenses somewhere else, load myself up, and go from there. There's a couple of places that spring to mind. I could go into the north of the map, but that's hard to defend because there's irradiated land, which might make for a better video overall. I've got a base really far in the north. I'm building a tower. That might be kind of cool, but I think if, enough bricks break on the tower, it would just all fall straight down. I'm trying to get to the top of the map with that one, which is a trophy, which is kind of sucky because you can't build up past a certain point, so you need a high point on the map and then build up from there. And where else do I need to go? I could go back to the very first house I had. You know what? I think I'll do that. The very first house was like a little city stop off. It served me as my very first. We're gonna do that. Well, I'll do that. I will set it up and I will do that. We'll go back to the very first base, the original base. I'll jack it up a bit so it lasts a bit longer, and we'll put our final stands in there. I'll be yeah, and then I'll have to uninstall the game. I'll be sad to lose that whole playthrough. It took a long time to get there, but we did. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll go back to the original base, which means here's the issue with it, and why I've been reluctant to leave. So before I left, I randomly placed mines everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Now, to be fair, I've had quite a few waves of enemies. They've triggered a lot of landmines, but there's a very good chance I'll just step on one and blow up before I leave the base. But I will endeavor to create that area. Anyway, I've gone on quite long enough, and I'm sure you'll be getting bored by now, but that's all that's coming. That's everything that I have planned, and that's all going to be going down in the next few weeks. The setups for those will be going down in the next few weeks, and then at the end of the month, in September, that's all going to go ahead, and I'll give you more on that as it happens. But for now, thank you for watching and for listening. Take care. Goodbye.